beautiful Laramie people? Do you feel beautiful today? You should. You should. Thank you for coming to Insight, Laramie. This is the 4th year. It used to be called Ignite, but we added 2 minutes to each of the presentations to give people more of a time to try to get a full narrative in. Basically, this is probably going to be my last year in town. Don't worry. There's about a 25% chance I end up in Fort Collins like everybody else. But more than likely, I'm going to New Zealand. I've been out here at Laramie a decade. I've loved mostly every minute of it. Some of the marches, maybe not. But anyway, I've also played a song called Come On Up to the House at most of these that we've ever done. So tonight, we're going to start this one by doing that, and I'm going to ask you to sing with me. It's pretty simple. Josh is going to pull all the parts that you have to sing. I figured we could do it. We could be a community together and kind of till the soul for the narratives that you're actually about to hear. There's still time while I'm going to sing this insanely long song to text all of your friends and say, we understand the sunshine is awesome, but you have 10 more minutes of it. Get your butts down here. Anyhow, so as soon as Josh finds that, that's all right. So it's pretty simple. You've probably heard it before if you've ever seen my face. But it just goes, you got to come on. Is that even in tune? Okay. You got to come on up to the house. You got to come on up to the house. The world is not my home, I'm just passing through. Come on up to the house. Can y'all do that? I guess I'll have to tell you when because I didn't put the rest of the lyrics, right? It's also call and response, so in between the verses, we'll say, come on up the house. You can just say, come up the house too then. Harry, wherever you are, you do it real loud and everyone can follow when you do it, okay? Righteous? Well, thanks for coming out and thanks for doing this with us. And anyhow, I'll start now. It's a Tom Waits song. I didn't say that at some other place, and they're like, we really love that song that you wrote. And I was like, I wish I'd written that song. Well, the moon, she's broken, and the sky is cracked. Come on up to the house. Everything you see is something you lack. Come on up to the house. Well, all your crying don't do you no good. Come on up to the house. Your cross, we could sure use the wood. Come on up to the house. You got to come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. The world is not my home, I'm just passing through. Come on up to the house. Ain't no light in your tunnel, no irons in your fire. Come on up to the house. Hey, you're singing lead soprano in a junk man's choir. Come on up to the house. Well, does life seem nasty, brutish, and short? Come on up to the house. All you see is a storm and you can't find port. Come on up to the house. You got to come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. The world is not my home, I'm just passing through. Come on up to the house. When you're high on top of your mountain of woe, come on up to the house. We know you should surrender, but you just can't let go. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. The world is not my home, I'm just passing through. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. The world is not my home, I'm just passing through. Come on up to the house. I said this world is not my home, I'm just passing through. Come on up to the house. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to Insight. This is Miss Shannon Smith, the Executive Director of the Wyoming Humanities, and I'll let her take it away. She's really laughing inside.
Hello, everybody. I really am choked up sitting back there watching Jason likely singing for the last time for our organization, certainly not for the last time for the world, and I'm certain not the last time for Laramie, but give it up for Jason Bird and everything he's done. Most of you know he's our own Mississippi redneck Renaissance man, right? He can write a book, he can build a house, he can do pretty much anything we need him to do. But he's also the executive producer of this event, and it's really important that you all understand that there are 8 people in this room right now who have been really trained well, have practiced under his guidance, and this evening, its success is dependent on this man, and his job is dependent on this, except for he's leaving, so I guess it doesn't matter. But he really has done tremendous work, and we're really, really proud to have him as part of our organization. Now, I know many of you in this room know who we are. The Wyoming Humanities is your state's Humanities Council. We are your state's affiliate of the National Endowment for the Humanities. And I'm standing in front of you today to tell you that it's the first time in 50 years where an executive director is standing in front of an audience and saying, I don't know if we'll be here next year. And I'm not going to get political on you because I can't answer the question of whether the United States and our nation, should fund us over other things that are equally important. But our nation is entering into a conversation, and I hope if you guys have any thoughts about the arts and the humanities and the cultural agencies of our country, that you would consider talking to your U.S. delegation and letting them know how important the work is that we do. And in particular, Wyoming has had a council for the longest of any other states because we were the model that all the other states ended up using. We're an independent organization, an independent nonprofit with board members around the state. We have 2 local board members that weren't able to join us tonight, but we have UW Professor Dave Messenger is on our board, and we also have Tom Johnson, who's the Chief Performance Officer of the Wyoming Business Council. We also have a who's who of people over the last 50 years who have served in this capacity, but it's a really important role. And we're very proud to be here tonight to bring you Insight Laramie in order to demonstrate the power of the humanities and the power of storytelling. Thank you. I'd like to thank our staff who's also here. There's very tall gentleman you can't see who's down there, who's running all the technology. He's our assistant director. His name is Josh Watanabe. Out in the hallway, you probably met Kathy Berman, who is our fiscal officer, and Sheila Bricker-Wade, who's our program officer. And you also met Erin Pryor-Ackerman, who runs our grants and memberships. So we're all here in order to provide you with this great evening. We couldn't do the kind of work we do without our partnerships and sponsorships. And this particular program is brought to you in partnership with the University of Wyoming's Creative Writing Program, the MFA program. We have several speakers tonight who are coming from that program, so you'll all be able to get a taste of the excellent work that they do. But we are also funded by several investors that we want to acknowledge and that you'll hear a lot about from our MC this evening. But we're especially pleased to have, for the third year in a row, Sweet Melissa Cafe and Front Street Bar. Yay. They've been strong supporters. And we also have, for the first time this year, First Interstate Bank, which is a bank that our organization does bank with, and we also have Tri-Hydro Engineering. Thank you. We had several other major organizations ensure that this was going to be able to happen, including Wyoming Public Media and the Frederick and Patricia Supper Foundation. So we're really thrilled to have the kind of financial and production support that we get from these sponsors, and please show your support to them. So let's get this party started. I want to make sure that you all know that if you like what you see tonight, stop by the table. There's free goodies, and we want to make sure you sign up so that you hear from us as we go through this national conversation. And so let's see what storytelling is all about. Let's get the party started, and I'd like to introduce the MC for tonight's storytelling extravaganza, Peter Parolin. Woo-hoo!
Hello, Laramie. You look beautiful. And it is great to welcome you to our event tonight, Insight Laramie. Abominable, indomitable, snow persons, or things. What a title. What does it even mean when you put all those great words together? Tonight, it means, I think, that we are going to have a night of storytelling focusing on overcoming limits and defeating monsters. Those limits might be physical, hard physical tasks that our bodies don't feel up to. Or they might be psychological, the stories that we tell ourselves that keep us from reaching our potential. And the monsters, what do they look like? Are they monsters under the bed, in the woods, in our minds? In the oldest stories, the heroes had to overcome the monsters. Tonight's heroes are 8 intrepid storytellers, some of the amazing movers and shakers in our little town. And we've asked each of them to tell you a story about indomitable, abominable, it's only the second time I've said it and I've already got it wrong once. I knew this was going to happen. Abominable, indomitable snow persons or things. In doing so, each of them is going to incite us. They're going to give us insight like the greatest storytellers do. Insight is what happens when you finally understand the true nature of things. It's the ability to perceive the truth. It's a deep understanding of relationships, of troubles, of our own selves. But insight is another word, too. It is definitely the perception of truth, and that's what's on the posters for tonight. But when we change a couple of letters and make it I-N-C-I-T-E, insight is also what we do when we stir someone up, when we encourage them, when we stimulate them, when we urge them to take action. Inciting, we instigate, we provoke, we exhort, we light a fire. And I think that the two kinds of insight are related. When we incite someone in the sense of helping them see the truth, we also incite in them the sense of inspiring them to take action in the world, to change their lives for the better, to make a difference for good. And living in Laramie, I am incited and inspired by the insights I gain from the people around me. All those people who are incited to do the things, build the businesses, plant the gardens, paint the murals, sing the songs, educate the kids, all those things that make this community so special. So I'm very excited for the next round of insights that are going to come from tonight's contemporary storyteller heroes. I feel like I need some insights. I need to be incited to take some good actions. You do too, right? Right? Yeah.